Hello one and all, my name is Sean Splains and this is Slay the Spire 2. In our last video we had a very close call and unfortunately nearly lost our first run in this little series, but thankfully we pulled out the win and we managed to finish off Ascension 1 with the Region. And today, since we're doing everything in order, we're going to move on to Ascension 1 with the Necrobinder, which as we'll remember last time is a very different playstyle. I tend to play this quite defensively and focus on Osty ideally to do a lot of the damage, but we'll just see what direction the game takes us. We actually get the offer to do Neow's Fury again, but I'm not that fussed about doing that. It is nice consistent damage and you can put more cards back into your hand. I think I'm more focused on Leafy Poultice, I really like it. We don't really need max HP on this character, especially because we already have Osty to kind of carry us in the HP department. We have a really nice path here with 4 campfires and an elite. We've also got an early shop, so I think I'll take this early shop. We'll go straight into here, we'll take all these campfires, and then at this point we'll maybe decide whether we can take the third elite or not. So I'll do a little circle there, and then we have our chests in the middle. So this would be nice front loaded damage, like I say, but I'm going to take the transforms and hope. So we get a really nice card in Reanimate. Just as I've said I want to do an Osty build, this is the best card for an Osty build, so that really worked out for us. I'm now very tempted, also Undeath is a great block card, I'm now very tempted to push for events and try and do a Tablet of Truth run. We could actually go this way now and see what events we get. I'm very tempted to do a Tablet of Truth run, which effectively means we go down to 1 max HP but we upgrade our cards. It might be quite greedy to do that. In fact, you know what I'll do? This is starting to look very messy. We'll go this way so that we can actually hit a shop still and we can get another nice card, and we can also have a couple of combats so we can get some even better cards here. So we just play Reanimate. He goes up to 21 health, and as we remember from the last time we used it, Unleash does damage based on his health. So now this is doing 28 damage and it's not affected by the Shrinker Beetle debuff. So we can just straight up play this and then we can block. We don't really need to, but we'll do it anyway. And we just unleash again, so we do 29 damage. So this is so far absolutely insane. I don't think we need the poke as much as free damage. Death's Door can be good as a block card. What does it look like upgraded? It just becomes 7 block. Reeve is nice front loaded damage, and Soul could be really nice to help us draw through our deck. I think we take Reeve. And next we'll probably try and focus on getting another decent block card. I'll just play Undeath. It's not bad to have Undeaths against this character, because it's obviously going to give itself the massive buff and give itself a lot of damage. But if we have Undeath at the ready, we don't need to worry about said damage. I mean, we're already blocking an insane amount as it is. We can just do this. We can play both Undeaths. So this card keeps on copying itself and making more of itself. This can be bad as it can blow out your deck in certain situations, but for some combats you can afford to just keep stalling the game out. Here we get Reap, which is a nice card because it retains, and we can use this on turns when the enemy is buffing itself. So this is good against Bygone Effigy or against Byrdonis. Not so much against Vantum, although there will be turns where it can be good against Vantum. But I think I might be taking Invoke here because it gives us a summon, it synergizes with Osty, and it gives us 2 energy for the next turn. But if I see another Reap, I would be very tempted to take it. Going into here, we unfortunately now will never see the membership card again, and that is a card that I definitely really enjoy having. Dredge can be really nice as a card, especially with the retain on it, and especially because we have the Undeaths. I think this is actually a really comfortable take. Yeah, it is. I think we take a Dredge and we take a Rattle, and then we really hope for Tablet of Truth, and we'll just see if we can shoehorn it and make it work. Ugh, first attempt, we don't get it. Do I want to go for a colourless reward here? We've not taken any damage, and I don't see myself taking any damage anytime soon. We get Omnislice, Thinking Ahead, and Purity. I mean, I have cards that I definitely don't really want. I mean, I would quite happily just exhaust defend cards, because Undeath is just a better defend card. Thinking Ahead could be handy for us. Omnislice does give us AoE damage, but I don't know if I really need it. We don't have any strength scaling. I think Purity's the answer. I think being able to remove cards that I really don't need is the answer. And unfortunately we do not get the event that I was looking for. I think based on the path we're going to take, we're now just going to go here and then up here, and then our only hope would be one of these 2 nodes, but there's now like a 50% chance it's going to be a combat, so I doubt we would get it. We got a choice to lose health for gold or add a clumsy to our deck and obtain a random relic. quite happy to take the Relic. Oddly Smooth Stone's really handy, gives us more block. Love to see that. Here we upgrade Reanimate all day. That's an easy snap pick, although I'd probably upgrade Undeath now to make that useful, and then I would upgrade Purity to be 5 cards. That's pretty strong. The Rattle's going to come in very handy. Dredge, no, we want to do Dredge next, sorry, because then that has Retain, and the Retain is going to make that even better than what it already is. At the moment, we want to block out the turns and get Reeve to help us cycle through. If we can just consistently block out the turns, build up Osty, and then use Osty to kill, we can scale faster than Byrdonis can. So we'll play that to get plus 25. What can we get from our soul? We can get Purity, which can allow me to get rid of Strike and Defend permanently. I think I take that actually. Here I'm going to play Purity to get rid of the Strikes and the Defend maybe. Although that's my only form of Defend this turn. I think we'll just get rid of the 2 Strikes. So that means those 3 cards I never have to see again. Defend gives me a little bit of block this turn, so now we're not going to lose Osty entirely. We play this and play this to take a bunch of damage off Byrdonis. It's going to do 18 damage this turn, so I will Bodyguard to get another 5 there. We can do another 15 damage. Is it worth playing Unleash and Reeve and just doing a lot of damage? That would do 24, leaving it at 12. We're getting a lot of block next turn, so I think it's better to just block out the next turn. So I'll just block and Unleash, taking it down to 21. We unfortunately take a small bit of damage, but it's not the end. We'll do an Undeath, and here we actually get to use Dredge efficiently. So we can actually take 2 Undeaths and get some free health back, and we'll take a Reeve for nice damage. So that's why we picked up the Dredge. It allows us to do that and get all of that block. Then we can attack. Don't take any damage, and as long as we get any attack cards here, which we don't, we get Unleash. There we go. We get Vambrace. The first time you gain block from a card each combat, double the amount gained. This is good in most hallway fights, as most hallway fights only last like 1 to 3. Another Reanimate. I'm going to take it. Another Reanimate. I want to upgrade other cards. Stop giving me such good cards. We get Whetstone, upgrades Unleash and Reeve. Love to see that. So that's 2 of the things we wanted upgraded anyway. Again, I'm going to upgrade Dredge because it allows me to use it exactly when I want to use it. At this rate, I'm going to comfortably be taking this elite. I would say Byrdonis was the hardest elite for us to deal with as a deck. So the fact that we're now here is really good. We'll Evoke and Rattle. It's not a very good turn 1 for us, to be honest. I'll use Undeath. Unfortunately, that uses up the Vambrace, but it's good to just try and get copies of it so that I can then use Dredge when I need to. So we retain the Dredge, we can get a Reanimate, and I'm tempted to do Bodyguard. I think it's better to just do Strike. I'll just do Double Strike. I would have loved to see the other Bodyguard there, I'm not going to lie. I will Dredge to get both Undeaths, and I think the Invoke, because it'll give me more energy next turn. I could block, I don't need to block. I'll Purity to get rid of the Defend, the Clumsy and the Strike, and then I'll use Unleash to do 58 damage. Take a little bit of damage on Osty, and he's only doing 23, but we can buff ourselves with 25 block effectively, and we can Unleash and do an insane amount of damage. So as we can see, having a strong Osty build is so good in this game. It is so good. Flatten's very interesting, so is Pull Aggro. I think going for more block is safer for me. Flatten's a great card, but I'm going to take Pull Aggro. If I see a Flatten later on, I might take it, although I think in this case I don't really want to go past 25 cards. I will take Reanimate. We'll keep a hold of the Dredge. I thought, is this not a basic combat? Have I not only done 3 combats? Oh, this is only my 3rd hallway fight, and we're at the end. Wow, sorry for that small thing. Doesn't matter where you are or if you've done elites. Your first 3 hallway fights are always what we call basic hallway fights, as I've mentioned I think in a previous video. I've just never done a basic hallway fight this far up the tree before, because I got really lucky with the events and stuff. So I will Undeath to give myself enough block actually. I don't even need to draw that back. Although I will still Pull Aggro for summon, I think. Or no, I don't need to. I'm playing a little bit more efficiently than I need to in this case. There's no point getting much more on here because Unleash is going to one-shot all of them. Then I can rattle into here. And then this guy will just die next turn. Hopefully. Nah, not quite. Not quite. There we go. So we finish off this little slime. And we get the option, we do get another Reap. I did say I was going to take Reap if I saw it. I did say that. Grave Warden is a great card though, it gives us more block and it gives us more souls to help us cycle through. But for the sake of enemies that have turns where they buff, having a retain card that does a lot of damage is really nice. Speaking of cards, enemies that like to buff on certain turns, we can just play Reap into him right now. I don't think I need to play Purity here, so I'll just leave it. It's good that it retains now. Also, the Purity is a really good answer for the infections in this combat. I never even thought of that, to be honest. I will play Reanimate. We take that damage quite handily. And actually, because we have Purity, I don't mind letting him buff himself up again here. Usually I would endeavour to try and really make sure the Phrog Parasite dies before it gets a chance to give you more infections. But just because we can exhaust up to 3 of them at once, or if I really wanted to use the Blessing of the Forge I could do 5, you're not that fussed about it. We could get Reeve back if we need it. I don't think we need it though. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to take a bit of damage. I'll use a skill potion to try and get some more block here. That would give us the option to get 13 instead of the 7, although I could redraw this with Dredge. That's probably the play. Well, it's only my first time gaining block for the combat, so yeah, that was a good choice. I will take the 3 damage here unless I use this now, although I think I want to save it because we do have 5 still in our draw pile. I'll just strike and rattle and we'll take the tiny bit of damage into Osty. We have the Reap again and it's on a turn where it's not attacking me, although I think I'll just Unleash. Or I can Soul first to see if we get any more attacks. We don't get any more attacks, right. So I'll Unleash here. That releases all of them and then I get an opportunity to attack some more. I'll pull aggro so that I offset the infection damage. This turn I will invoke, then use Bodyguard and Undeath. Should have used that strike, I forgot I had an extra energy. We can use Unleash to kill the one in the back, and I can actually use Reap to kill this one here. And then I can use Dredge to get those cards back, so now I've got another Reap for next turn. And to make sure I don't take any damage, I'll just use this now to get rid of the infection, and I might as well just get rid of... yeah, we'll get rid of the strike. So now we don't take any damage, because I'm pretty sure the infections go straight into you, they don't hurt Osty. Unfortunately, this is kind of unavoidable damage, because otherwise they'll just hit me and do a lot anyway. So I'll just Reap and kill one. We'll take a little bit of damage here. Yeah, they do just bypass Osty. And we'll do Undeath twice. We'll take a little bit of chip there. Just keep cycling through the Undeaths until we get enough damage to kill the enemy. As long as I can not take damage from the infections, we're okay. Even if it is a bit of a slow combat now. But the fact that we have so much health in here, I'm never worried. Although I am worried I'll die of boredom waiting for this strike card. There we go. So that was a long but comfortable fight. Here I love Drain Power. As much as we've got a good one here with Cleanse, Summon 3 and Exhaust a card from your draw pile, another way to get rid of cards that I don't want to see. Drain Power just allowing you to upgrade cards is great in long combats, especially because I have the ability to dredge it back potentially. When you upgrade it, it goes up to 3 cards. Yeah, and as I thought, this was going to be a combat. So, the dredge paired up, sorry, while I was in the middle of saying, it just allows us to upgrade most of our deck in most boss combats, especially if we try and keep the number low. Now, I'll try not to add too many cards and fall for the same trick we did in our last game. Don't think we've got any free cards at the moment. No, we don't. Can just rattle. Osty takes a little bit of damage. We can just reanimate again, and we can even Undeath here so that Osty doesn't take any damage. And then we see Drain Power. We see that upgrades a couple of the cards that are in there. Although because I have Undeath, it won't be as efficient as it usually is, because it will end up just upgrading most of the Undeaths, but it'll still work quite well. I won't use Purity on strikes, because I don't want a repeat of what happened in the last combat. We get that anyway. We can get Transfigure, add Replay to a card in your hand. It costs an extra energy, but Replay obviously means it will play again. This is an excellent card. Excellent card, especially if it's not something that exhausts and you continuously just get the replay on it again and again and again. And if we upgrade it, it no longer exhausts, so you can just keep adding replay to things. In terms of talking about cards that are great in long-winded battles, this just basically slowly adds replay to your whole deck, so it can be insane. If we actually saved our, sorry, is it draw pile or is it discard pile? It's in your hand. So if we actually managed to pair this up with Reanimate, being able to play Reanimate and add plus 50 summon is also kinda crazy. So we'll do pull aggro and strike here. Obviously the thing with this fight, as we've seen before, is it's got the slippery buff, so we need to try and remove the damage, because all damage is going to be 1. It doesn't matter if we do 27 with Reap, it's not going to do much for us. So I will reanimate this turn and I'll play Undeath. I was thinking about using the Blessing of the Forge, but I feel pretty confident we'll get through this fight unscathed. I don't need to worry too much. The enemy does scale, but it only scales every 4 turns, so we should be fine. I might dredge the Undeaths here though, because we can make good efficiency out of it. I will drain power, then I'll dredge the Undeath Plus and drain power again. Then play both of these, and then drain power again. Upgrade 2 more Undeaths, so it actually works out quite well here, doing that. I don't want to Purity 3 of these cards, so I'll just leave it for now. We still take a little bit of damage, but we blocked a lot of it. We could potentially add Transfigure to Reanimate here. I think if we Purity, because I would want to add it to either Reap or Reanimate, I think, so I'm going to Purity, Rattle and Strike, and then play Invoke for next turn. Oh, you actually get to add it to the card of your choosing, so I didn't have to do all of that. Sorry, this is the first time I've done this since in a long time. So we get to pick one that we want to add it to. I think I'll quite comfortably add it to Reanimate. Even though it costs 4, if I pair it up with playing Invoke at the right time, like now, it just comes straight back into our hand. Okay. I will play Undeath so that we fully block this turn. I will Transfigure into the Reap now, and then I'll play Reanimate to get another 50 summon onto Osty. So now I'm really not worried about how much damage we're taking. We do need to get through this Slippery though at some point. I'm not really addressing the main issue at hand. Play Invoke, play Drain Power. Does a little bit of damage to us, but it's fine. Undeath, Strike, Unleash, Defend. And even though this has got replay, I really want to try and get the replay into the Unleash attack. That would probably end the game on the spot. Don't need any more Undeath. I'll do Pull Aggro just so I can get some more summon on Osty. Get a Soul, which will help us reach what we want to. So I really want to get Transfigure on this so it does a lot more damage. Although this turn I can just hit him for 82. We can play both of these and fully block again, and at no point have we really felt in danger. I feel like this character for me is the easiest to try and manage defensively because of Osty and how great Osty is. If you can get some good synergy going, this is an amazing character, but if you can't get good synergy going, this can be a terrible character. This can not feel fun to play. We now get Reap that's got 2 replay on it, so if we play this it's going to do 27 damage 3 times, which will do 81 damage, so it doesn't quite kill, but also Osty has so much health. And we have 2 Undeaths there, so we're never worried. Osty's up at 107 in Act 1. We finish this off with a little Strike. I think we got through that without taking personal damage, I didn't actually notice. And because we got the Aubergine so early, as much as this is typically not a great relic, I forgot to mention this earlier, because we got it in Act 1, we're going to get it from every single combat, so I think we've already got it from 2 combats or 3 combats, and we'll probably get it for like another 10 or 15, and when you look at it, that's like over 200 gold, so that is still a good relic. You just need to see it early on for it to be good. We get Bottled Potential, which is a really interesting potion for us. And then we get the option to get Hang, Misery, or another Transfigure, which is what I'm going to take. Now that we're through Act 1, we'll take a pause as we usually do, which I'm going to do for the rest of the Ascension 1 videos. And then we'll take a small break, and when I come back, we'll start doing full runs to try and just get through it flawlessly in one video and make it feel quite seamless. But thank you for joining me once again. I have been Sean Splains, this has been Slay the Spire 2, and I'll see you in the next one.